So today I wanted to touch on the Resident Evil 8 DLC and when we can expect a release date. Thank you guys so much for the support on the last video. We did cover Resident Evil 8 DLC and just kind of like what we know about it so far. If you guys haven't checked that video out, please be sure just to click on the link up here. Go ahead and check it out just so you know kind of what we're thinking and what we know about the DLC so far. But today's video is all about when can we expect it. Now, take everything with a grain of salt. This is just an article that was posted about 3 days ago, kind of speculating on when we can expect it due to different business practices that Capcom's at and kind of where they're at going into the holiday season. Without further ado, let's get into it. If you guys do enjoy the content on this channel, please hit that like button on the videos to kind of help them get out there a little bit more. If you guys do enjoy my videos and want to consider subscribing, please be sure to do that as well, and then turn on notifications so you guys never miss uploads. As always, if you're a new subscriber, make sure to just comment that down below so we know you're new here. We can welcome you to the channel properly. And then don't forget about the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I've mentioned it a couple times now, but basically we're going to be giving away a PS5 DualSense controller. So if you're interested in that, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Now, if you don't have a PlayStation 5 yet, or you're not on PlayStation at all, we'll figure something else out for you. Maybe we can get a new Xbox controller or a new gaming mouse if that's something you're looking into, kind of all within the relative same price range. I'm not going to, blow all my money on one thing, but I do want to give something back to the community for getting me to closer to partner every day. So when we hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, we'll definitely go through that giveaway. The article we're going to be reading today is from GameRant.com, When to Expect Resident Evil Villages DLC, and this was posted about 3 days ago. So it says, the popular survival horror franchise Resident Evil returned in a big way this year with its 8th mainline game, Resident Evil Village. Upon release, Resident Evil Village received praise for retaining the look and feel of Resident Evil 7 while carrying the DNA of the highly successful Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil's Village impressive sales numbers and positive reviews are a firm indication that fans enjoy this brand new entry in the Resident Evil franchise. Capcom has indeed acknowledged Resident Evil's Village's success, and it has announced that it's working on a DLC after popular demand. Early rumors suggest that Capcom had no plans on making a DLC for Resident Evil Village, though this seems to have changed post-launch. While Resident Evil Village DLC sounds exciting, it's still a big mystery as to when fans can get their hands on it. There are plenty of directions in which Capcom can take this upcoming Resident Evil Village DLC, and when it launches may very well depend on the scope and size. There is a slight possibility that the Capcom takes the Resident Evil 7 approach with Resident Evil Village's DLC, which should provide some much-needed insight. Resident Evil 7 received a total of 4 DLC packs, 2 of which were released just a week after the base game launched. The story DLC End of Zoe and Not a Hero were initially planned to release in the second quarter of 2017, but ended up getting delayed till December of 2017. The gap between the release of Resident Evil 7 and its big story DLCs was 11 months, and that could also be the case with Resident Evil Village, if not more. However, it seems Resident Evil Village DLC went into production right around the time Capcom made the announcement at E3 2021, which means that it might not be releasing anytime soon. If the DLC introduces new locations, characters, and story beats that are not part of Resident Evil Village content cut, then there's even less chance of the DLC launching anytime before the game's first anniversary. By the looks of it, Capcom might be planning to release Resident Evil as an annual franchise, which means the Resident Evil Village turns 1, a brand new Resident Evil game might have been announced or even released. Multiple reports suggest that Nintendo Switch Time exclusive Resident Evil title called Resident Evil Outrage will release this holiday season. However, with no announcement yet, it could have been delayed. There have been reports that Capcom is outsourcing the development of Resident Evil Outrage and 2's, which developed the 3DS version of Resident Evil Revelations. This is reportedly helming the project. If this is true, then the development of Village's DLC should remain unaffected, otherwise fans should be ready to wait for a much longer time than they initially expected. There's quite a possibility that the Resident Evil Village DLC borrows from the cut content from the main game. It could be anything from Elena's village section to Ada Wong's role. That links to the overarching narrative that sprouted in Resident Evil 7. A DLC made out of the content makes more sense, which would also take less time to develop. Given that it would potentially be using more of existing assets, if that turns out to be the case, then fans should expect Resident Evil Village's DLC to drop sooner rather than later. Capcom could also want to push out the DLC as soon as possible and move on to its next big project. In that case, a December 2021 release date for the DLC makes much more sense, especially since Capcom's holiday 2021 lineup is practically empty. By releasing Resident Evil Village's DLC during this period, Capcom could partially fill the void created by potentially delaying Resident Evil Outrage. Now, if you guys haven't played Resident Evil Village yet, highly recommend it. The game is out on all consoles across the board: PC, PlayStations, Xbox, Nintendo Switches, apparently, Google Stadia, whatever you want to go play it on. But, so if you're kind of looking into this DLC and you haven't played the base game yet, go play the base game, get a feel for it, figure out what the story is. But the DLC, from what we've read in the last, everything we know about it so far video, it sounds like the most, promising DLC we could see is the Ada Wong DLC, because that was content that was originally cut from the base game. So all they have to kind of do is rework it a little bit, put it out as a DLC. But if that's not the case, they're starting from scratch. It could end up pushing out past the 1 year anniversary, which I believe is in March or February. So it just kind of, time will tell. I'd like to think that the December 2021 release makes sense, kind of right around the holidays. It doesn't sound like Capcom has anything on the boards for that, so it could be a little good push for the holiday season, little $20 sale, but who knows. But that's going to do it. Yeah, I'm definitely excited for the DLC, and we'll continue to cover the information as it comes out, and I'll keep you guys informed as much as I can. As always, guys, if you guys enjoyed the video, please be sure to smash the thumbs up button so we can kind of get a little bit more recognition on the channel. If you guys do enjoy my content and want to stick around, please be sure to consider subscribing to the channel and then turn on the notification bell so you guys never miss uploads. Again, if you are a new subscriber, make sure to just let us know down in the comments. Be on standby for our 1,000 subscriber giveaway. We've mentioned that a few times now. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video.